All right, so you already know how to write a killer prompt. You know, all about assigning a role, setting the context, defining your constraints. We've covered all of that. And honestly, it works for things like drafting emails, summarizing long documents, or doing general analysis. Those standard prompt structures work remarkably well. But then you try to use those exact same techniques to generate code. And well, something just feels off, right? The AI gives you something that technically runs, sure, but it absolutely does not fit your project. Or maybe it handles errors in this really weird way that you would literally never do yourself. Or it uses patterns that completely clash with the rest of your code base. And what happens? You end up frustrated, rewriting half of the code yourself anyway. So here's the honest truth: prompting for code is just a different beast. It's not completely different from regular prompting, but it's different enough that you really need to build a few specific extra habits to get code that actually works for you out of the box. Let's dive right into habit one. Describe what, not how. This is, without a doubt, the single most critical habit you need to develop. Think of the AI like a general contractor you've hired for a kitchen remodel. You tell them exactly where you want the new sink to go, right? You absolutely do not stand over their shoulder and tell them which specific screws to use for the plumbing. They are the expert on the how. You own the what. The exact same logic applies to prompting for code. The AI has ingested millions of different solutions to common programming problems. When you describe the behavior you want, it can actually pick the very best implementation for your specific situation. But the moment you start dictating exactly how to build it, you take that choice away. And honestly, you usually end up pushing it toward a much worse solution. So if you ever catch yourself typing out phrases like use a for loop or create a variable called X, just stop. Stop right there. You are describing the how. Take a step back and describe the what instead. For example, a bad prompt would be use a for loop to iterate through a list of emails and check the date field against today minus 7 days. A much better prompt is write a Python function that takes a list of email dictionaries and returns only the ones from the last 7 days. It's the exact same goal, but a completely different way of prompting. You're letting the AI do the heavy lifting, moving right along to habit two. Build step by step. Look, I know it's incredibly tempting to ask the AI to generate an entire complex application in one single prompt. But trust me, it almost never works well. You've got to break things down and build chronologically. Start with the foundation. First, ask for the data model. Once that's looking good, move on to the core logic. And finally, tackle the interface. You want to keep each piece small enough that you can easily read it, understand what's happening, and actually verify that it works before moving on to the next step. There's a huge reliability factor here. The more code you ask for all at once, the more chances there are for something to go completely sideways. If you try to build 3 huge features at once and the code breaks, well, good luck figuring out which part actually caused the problem. Smaller steps are just fundamentally easier to verify, and it prevents those nasty bugs from stacking on top of each other. Okay, on to habit 3. Give your project context. This is the one people skip all the time. And man, does it show in the final output. If you don't provide context, you are guaranteeing yourself generic code. You get code that works perfectly in isolation, but totally breaks when you try to plug it into your actual project. It's bringing back the contractor analogy. It's like hiring a builder who has literally never stepped foot in your house. On day one, they have no idea which walls are load bearing, where the plumbing runs, or what the overall style of the house is. You have to give them a tour first. The AI is essentially writing in the dark. It cannot see your files unless you explicitly share them. So tell it about your world, tell it your programming language, the tools you're using, your project structure, and your naming conventions. Tell it exactly what this new function connects to and what you want to happen when things inevitably go wrong. Honestly, the difference between a terrible generic output and code that perfectly fits your project is usually just about 4 lines of context. Finally, we hit habit 4. Make it a conversation. You need to shift your mindset away from treating a prompt as a single rigid command. Start things off broad, let the AI propose an initial approach, and then refine it together. The reality is, you probably can't think of every single edge case or requirement right up front anyway. Having a back and forth conversation lets you discover those requirements as you build. And hey, when something does go wrong, which it will, don't just hit the nuke button and start over from scratch. Tell the AI exactly what went wrong, paste in the error code, and ask it to fix that specific part. Targeted corrections are always way more effective than scrapping the whole thing. So at the end of the day, we're really just looking at the exact same core prompting principles you already know and love. Describe the behavior, give solid context, and iterate. You just have to apply them with a lot more precision when the end goal is runnable code. So I'll leave you with this. What is the trickiest part of prompting for code that you've run into? I am super curious to hear what tends to break first for most of you.